really hard to remember because to keep your energy up, you're always joking around and stuff like that. So it's very hard to remember. I remember Mike McFarland, there was a scene where I'm eating pie, and he wanted it to be very realistic, so he bought some donuts, right? And he said, well, just put, like, bite a donut in your mouth while you're doing the recording.
That sounds familiar.
So between takes, I was eating those donuts like crazy. And after I finished the scene, he goes, okay, now give me those donuts, I'm hungry. And I went, the donuts? The donuts are gone.
Do you really have a donut story?
That was it. That was my donut story.
I didn't even know you had a donut story.
Do you have a donut story?
Don't
Do tell!
Look what you did! Now
Why are we all eating donuts at first?
Well, he's never given me more donuts after that. It was like, no more.
Because they are delicious. That's really all the reason.
Yeah, they were.
Yes, until you are traumatized by them.
Yes.
Then they are no longer delicious.
Does this have to do with signing some weird body parts?
I signed a guy's donut one time.
Hello.
That doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. What was his name?
Roy.
Will. I'm sorry, Will. Let me apologize in advance.
Will.
Well, you need to go in timeout. Go to your naughty chair. We'll pick you up on the flip side.
And let's face it, Will is the coolest guy in here, right?
That's my brother.
Will, you should be cosplaying as Ed, dude. You're just like perfect size and everything.
That's my brother.
Your sister did?
I did.
Oh, nice.
That's my brother over there.
Well, as far as outtakes are concerned, did you have a good outtake, Wenvy?
Like Sonny said, every one of them is an outtake. It's kind of just trying to... what they do sometimes, like, Vic would come in from California and record before me, and they would put little teasers. What do they call them when you would record that crazy stuff before I would roll in? And it would be like a BS
some little bomb.
line.
Yeah, some
Bomb.
Yeah.
What is this?
A bomb. They put a little bomb.
Yeah, we drop a bomb on you.
The line would be incorrect. Is what I'm talking about. And so it would be Vic saying something crazy, and then I would mess up the line, or
I told you, right.
Travis, it would be that way.
Right, I told you guys yesterday. How many of you were in the panel yesterday? Where I talked about the one that Maxie Whitehead left for me. Will, thank you for being here right now because it'll keep me from telling this story.
He was here yesterday. He was at it yesterday.
I always wanted to leave a line, like when we were on the train, I always wanted to leave a line for Caitlin that said something like, hey Winry, what do you say we go to the back of the train, turn out the lights and see what happens? But I never did. It was a dream.
Let me ask the panel something. How many times are we asked that question about outtakes? Like every panel? Now you would think that one of us up here would write down the next time an outtake happens, because they happen every day, but we don't. We are so...
It happens to me every time something funny happens in the booth. I think to myself, make a mental note of this, because the fans would really get a kick out of knowing this. And then I forget about it, because we had so many of them happen that after a while it just kind of all blends together, and you don't remember any of them. Or maybe that's my age.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's all of our ages up here.
Yeah, probably.
Sir? Oh, not yours, Wendy. Yes.
This is a question for Sonny. When you first started doing Full Metal Alchemist, did you know in advance what was going to happen to you?
Oh,
no. As a matter of fact, I did not.
I did.
I think 2 weeks. 2 weeks before he died, Mike tells me, oh, guess what? Your character dies in a couple of weeks. I went, are you kidding me? Because I love this character, right? But you know what? The cool thing is that Mike McFarland knew that episode was such a pivotal episode to the series that he actually gave me the original Japanese and the script a week ahead of time so I'd be prepared for it. And so it's one of my favorite scenes. Did I cry? Yeah, I was out of work for 2 months. Yeah. But yeah, I had no idea though.
I had no idea it was coming either.
And then I read the manga after that, because I'm like, I want to know what's going on here.
I did.
Well, I didn't know until it happened, but the frustrating thing for me was that, as you guys know, Ed doesn't find out about it for like 40 episodes. So, the whole time, right? So the whole time, every time I would come in to record, I would be like, do we find out today? And Mike's like, So, you know, I knew that when the time came for us to record the scene where Ed and Al find out that Hughes is gone, we would really, you know, that would be a very big moment emotionally. And so I knew that Hughes had died, but I wasn't, you know, but I had to wait a long period of time before I was able to play that moment. So there was a bit of frustration there.
Keep it inside. Very deep. Envy has a question.
Yes, I have a question for Wendy.
Of course. Right, sit down. Next question.
I was wondering, like, if you're irritated, do you ever find yourself slipping into envy? Like, if you're, like, waiting in line for coffee for hours?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I went through the Starbucks and someone recognized my voice as me the other day. How would like it done, sweet, nice tea, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So, anyway, yes.